Hi, I'm Stephen Ferrugia. I'm the founder of Vative. At Vative, we're about inspiring people, organisations and community to continuously improve. So if you are a change agent, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business leader, if you're a person that is starting up an organisation, if you just like improving stuff, then this is the place for you to be. What I'm going to do over the next 17 months is share insights with you about what I've learned on my own personal journey in driving success, building businesses, leading teams, and being a change agent. So over the next 17 months, I'm going to share with you 17 modules from our Vative Academy online learning platform. And today is the first of that journey, and we're starting with value and waste. Now this first module is part of the Champions module, and in the Lean Mastery journey, there are 4 different levels to attain what we call continuous improvement mastery. Now this is really useful to someone that's practicing lean startup or agile methodology or continuous improvement, be it lean or Six Sigma. These are all the fundamental skills that will help you get ahead in your life, in your organisation, and build a career for you that is accredited to an international standard. So the Champions module is one of 3. And then that will help progress you to build a platform up to becoming a practitioner, more of a person that's practically doing things in the workplace and building transformation. From there, you'll start building modules and specializing and becoming an expert until you reach the last stage where you become a master, where you're teaching others, you understand the whole system of lean, continuous improvement, agile and lean startup can work for you in your business, but also in your personal life. So let's start with the most important factor. There's going to be 4 stages that I'll take you through in showing you how value and waste is a critical factor and a foundational fundamental skill set to have in your mind and in your business practices. So starting with a mindset of excellence. This is a gateway to the ultimate outcomes of continuous improvement. The mindset is an essential part of any achievement. There's no point in even going to this end stage unless you can master the mindset of excellence. So a mindset of excellence is meaning that you want to achieve things in a way that is striving for perfection but not expecting it. That's right, there's a difference there. Striving for perfection though not expecting it. And what I mean by this is that if you're striving for perfection, you're always looking for ways to continuously improve, be it in your business life or your personal life. The difference is when you expect perfection, this can consume you and drive an insatiable need to achieve an outcome that is unattainable. Now, but when we strive for perfection, it's about continuously improving, but being humble and content with small steps of improvement and understanding that journey is endless. So we don't need to destroy our minds by continuously thinking about getting to a place that's unattainable, but enjoy the journey of taking a step by step to get there. So what I want to share with you that you might not realize is that in our lives there is 1,000 months roughly that we have available to us. This is a plot of all of those months in an average 90-year life. Now some of us may live well beyond that, some of us may fall short of that. I recently turned 44 years old. This is a plot of where I'm at in my life. And you know, we tend to want to retire around 65 is what the public says is an appropriate age, but ideally we want to all retire at an age earlier than that. Reach a state of financial sustainability so that we can spend more time in the things that we love. Now 1,000 months in a life, when you think of it as an invoicing cycle, it's not very long. Some of you might invoice every month and it puts it in perspective. 1,000 invoicing cycles, that's not a lot. So what are you doing with your life? How are you making sure that you do things in your life that bring you in your personal life more centered around purpose to get to a sustainable income where you can enjoy life? And in your business and professional career, how are you collecting and building your competencies, your intellect, your skills, so that you can get the most out of your professional career and support your personal aspirations. So I can share with you some of my personal journey that is an amount of waste in all of our lives that is in the realm of about 90% of activities that are not directly related to our business activities or our purpose. And these come in 3 different forms. So part B is about sharing with you how waste and value is actually quantified. So the 3 different forms are what we value, the value in perspective of the customer. So in a business or an organizational context, we're talking about the voice of the customer. What does the customer value? And that's what we're here to make and provide service for them. Whether you're in the service industry, whether you're in retail, manufacturing, warehousing, software development, it doesn't really matter. What is important is understanding what does the customer want? When do they want it? How do they want it? At what quality do they want it? And how much do they want of it? Anything beyond that is a waste. In our personal lives, it's about moving towards purpose. So understanding what is our purpose, moving towards that purpose in a way that is most effective and without waste. Now, along the way, in both our business lives and our personal lives, there are essential things that we must do that are not directly relatable to the customer requirements or our personal purpose. So they are elements that we call business value add or purpose value add in your personal life. So business and personal value add are the things that we do that surround and reinforce the ultimate objective of serving our purpose or the customer. Now, these are things in business like compliance, government regulation, building team cultures, making sure that we have systems in place, your accounting systems and finance. These are all auxiliary things around the core service that we provide to our client or our customer. Now, in our purpose, they can manifest in different ways. In our personal life, our purpose has purpose value add, well-being, fitness, understanding finances. All of these things are built around our purpose in life. They are essential, but not directly related, but we need them to hold the structure together. Now, the last aspect there, which is what we are trying to eliminate, these are the things we want to look for, people. Once we see these, once we understand these, you will never not be able to see them again. So this aspect is called non-value add. That's why it's in red. We want to seek this stuff out and we want to eliminate it from our process and remove it out of our lives, be it our professional lives or be it our personal lives. Anything that distracts our purpose in our personal life and anything that distracts us from achieving the customer service as they want it are wastes, and we want to remove those wastes out of our system as quick and as fast as possible. So the objective of value add is to optimize. The objective of business value add is to minimize, and the objective of non-value add is to eliminate. So they're the 3 things we want to do: optimize, minimize, and eliminate those elements in our businesses and our personal lives. So when we are removing waste and assessing waste in our organisations and our personal lives, it's important that we do it in a way that is harmonious. And what I mean by that is engaging in what I call the 5 Ps. Our purpose, the people, our performance, the profit, and the planet. These 5 Ps is how I've run every organisation and how I've been able to achieve success in a harmonious way. So what you want to do is make sure that everything that you do is purposeful. Be it whether you're removing waste or whether you're optimizing and reducing your business value add, there needs to be a purpose behind why you do it, for your business and for your personal life. When we are taking action, we also need to make sure that we engage the people around us, that we attract people into our organisation and our life that are aligned to that purpose. Once we attract those people and we're clear on the purpose, then we need to perform. So it's beyond lip service. We need to be able to step up and do the things that we say. So the outcomes are merely the results from us acting on purpose and doing it in a way that achieves an outcome that we have stated. The 4th P is around profit. So profit is not essential. I've spoken to many business owners and I've asked them, what is the purpose of your organisation? And some of them, unfortunately, reveal that profit is the core purpose of their organisation. Now let me tell you that profit is merely the result of living a useful purpose and a meaningful purpose that provides value to others. If you have a service or a business and you're providing that to others, money is the value of exchange. It says that what that person is paying for, they value. And if you are making a profit, it just means that your organisation is running effectively in a way that can turn a profit. Now profit, the way I like to look at it, is the oil between the cogs. So the cogs are the organisational functions and services, and the profit means those cogs can turn smoothly. Now you need money in your life, in your personal life, and you need profit in your organisation. Even if you're a charitable organisation, it's no surprise to you that charitable organisations also need money to run. It just means that the profit they derive goes back into community benefit and not to individual shareholders. So when you're running your organisation and when you're living your life, make sure you have enough money in your life. Make sure you have enough money in your business for it to be liquid, to move, for you to make smart decisions and not operate out of fear. The last P is a very important P. It's our planet. Looking after this planet, making sure that our planet stays in as good shape as we found it, and improving our planet for the future generations, for our children. This is a finite resource that we have on this earth. It is a beautiful place. If you were to dream up something that would imagine as being a heaven, you couldn't even imagine all the beauty that's on this planet. So we need to cherish that, we need to look after that. So now that we're clear on building mindset, what are the 3 different types of wastes, how we're minimizing, optimizing and removing waste out of our system, and understanding that whenever we make a change, that we're not doing it in a way that will impact negatively on the 5 Ps. We want to have a positive impact on those 5 Ps, work with purpose, make sure we bring people along for the ride, optimum performance, turn a profit, and not impact our planet in a negative way, sustain our planet. So now I'm going to take you into the 8 wastes. So the 8 wastes are the fundamentals of this module. So the 8 wastes I'm going to describe to you in a business context, but also in a personal context. And an easy way to remember both of those contexts are wood mitts. WOODMITS, wood mitts. Imagine every time you're removing that waste from your organisation, that you're wearing a pair of wooden mitts to make sure that you do it with the 5 Ps on each hand, in your personal life and in your business life. So starting with the operational and organisational wastes in organisations are waiting time, the first waste. These are all the times that you spend in your organisation waiting to process things, waiting for other people's decisions, waiting for documents, waiting for systems. These are all the times that are consumed waiting between production processes, waiting for stock to be delivered in retail or in warehousing, waiting for uptime and equipment in your manufacturing environments. So waiting time is everywhere. When you spot it, we're looking to remove that waiting time or try and minimise it as much as possible. The next waste in organisational waste is overproduction. Overproduction is said to be one of the worst wastes. Why? Because if we make more than what's needed, what we actually do is amplify that risk of waste in all other ways. If I have more than what's needed, there is a good chance that I need to wait for my other things that are needed. There is a good chance that I will overprocess that by moving it around many times, that I will damage that item or that service, that I will create extra motion in moving around the items or service. I will create excess inventory, which I'll need to store, I'll need to transport, and I'll need extra space for. So overproduction is one of the worst wastes, particularly in manufacturing and retail. So the next waste that I want to move on to is overprocessing. So overprocessing means we do things beyond what the voice of the customer is requiring, more than what we need. How many times have you ever been to a place where you are over-serviced? So that costs money to an organisation and often is not appreciated. So there are good things called delighters that we do that are above and beyond, but overprocessing is way past that. It's doing things that are well in excess of what is required and what is needed by the customer. So you want to spot that And the best way to do that is to actually understand and ask the customer what they need. It's a common trap that organisations and professionals fall into. They go about building these amazing products and services without actually inquiring on a regular basis with their customer what their needs are to make sure that they're servicing the customer. And when we think about it, the main reason that we're in business or that we provide a service in any organisation, be it even a charity, is to serve the customer. So if we don't stop and pause and ask what the customer wants, then we're not really there to serve our purpose. And we could be falling into the trap of over-processing. So moving on to the next waste, motion. This is particularly a big waste in retail, manufacturing and office types of environments. So motion is creating excessive movements around in the services that we provide. So there is a good balance, a healthy balance that needs to be created for an ergonomic factor. But motion beyond the need of creating ergonomics and movement to be healthy in our well-being can be an excessive waste. So if we're building widgets and we're doing thousands of them a day, all of those motions add up. If we're in a retail store, every time we're moving to and from the customer, all of those motions add up. If we're in an office and all of those times we need to move back and forth to the printer, all of those motions add up. So these all come at a cost. So spot them. Often we find in offices that the printer is located closest to the leader, but is most needed by the admin staff. So look for those opportunities where there are wastes in motion and remove those wastes. The next waste that we're going to explore here is inventory. Inventory are stockpiles of equipment and stock that are not necessary. This is not just the stock that we're selling to the customer here. This can be maintenance equipment, this can be auxiliary items, this can be data stored on the cloud. There is a lot of waste in inventory in things that we accumulate and hold on to, particularly a habit of a personality that is more S and a C if you're familiar with DISC. So hoarding things and collecting things are a type of waste. We need to move around that waste. We need to sort through that waste. We need to sometimes discard that waste so that we don't be distracted by the things we don't need. So the next waste is transport. So transport applies not only to logistics companies and manufacturing companies, but also to retail lines. It also applies to your sales teams and your customer service teams, looking at how do they move around and engage with customers. How do you move stock around? How do you forklift things through factories? How do you move things into your stores? This is all transport waste. So optimizing our transport and our run is an important factor in eliminating waste. We're going to work through now the last waste, which is space. So space is the physical space that we have where we store all of those things that we are transporting and all of our inventory, but it is also our workshop and our office layouts. How do we optimize that space? Have we got a good balance of flexible work zones? Are we engaging our staff to work from home so that we optimize our working spaces? Are we optimizing our warehouses so that we're using the height as well as the floor space? Are we engaging in our drive spaces to make sure that we are optimizing and compressing data when we store it in the cloud? So the cloud is not a free resource, you know. Every gigabyte that we put up in the cloud costs us money. Every gigabyte that we put into our server costs us money. So this is all things that you need to think through and optimize and identify and remove this waste out of your system and your lives. Now, outside of our business and professional lives, there are wastes that occur in our personal lives. And these tend to be worse than the professional ones because they creep in and they go unnoticed. Every organisation and every lean expert is going to tell you about these 8 wastes that I've just went through. But few experts and professionals will share with you the waste that can creep into your life. And these are how I've been able to achieve personal success, financial freedom, and have successful businesses when we engage in lean startup and build software and applications. Now these wastes come in many forms. The first waste for your personal waste is wasted time. On those 1,000 dots, how are you engaging in your life? How are you making the most of your life in a way that drives you towards a purposeful outcome and builds a life that is balanced with joy and well-being, but also driven for outcomes? So it's not about just work, work, work. Yes, we need to balance that with some joy in our life. but don't walk through life in a way and keep putting things off. How many people have you engaged with that say, yeah, I'll just do that tomorrow, I'll do that next week, I'll do that next month. Those months add up. There's only 1,000 months in our life. Those months will add up. So take action. If you want to achieve something, set a clear purpose, set a vision, and take action. The next waste in our personal life is overdoing things. So the same way that we can overproduce things, we can also in our personal life overdo things. Take this YouTube clip, for example. Some people might spend days editing out the cough that I just did. This is about being real. This is about being authentic. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We're looking for a professional outcome. We're striving for excellence, but you will still get value out of the words. You'll still get value out of this video. So in our lives, don't overdo things. Don't overcook things. Don't over-create things. Overdoing things to an excess is a form of waste. Unless you want to be a professional athlete, if you consume all your time to get such a finite looking body, well, that could be a waste unless it's serving a greater purpose. So think about the 5 P's in your personal life and think about whether that is something that you need. The next waste is overthinking. So instead of just overdoing things, we can also get busy up here and we can waste lots of time overthinking things that eventually actually mean nothing a lot of the time. So make sure that what you're spending your brain power on is purposeful. Make sure that what you spend your brain power on is achieving a goal and an outcome. Don't overthink things. I recently did a YouTube post on practical mindfulness, and it's about being in the present moment. A lot of people can get trapped in one of 2 other realms. So the dweller that looks in the past always, and the dreamer that's always looking in the future. The doer is the person that is present and that can balance between the past and the future to make mindful decisions. So don't overthink things. Make sure that your thoughts are purposeful and make sure that you're taking action on them. The next waste in your personal life is distractions. How many distractions do you have in your life? I want you to pause and think about that for a bit. Think about all the things that you're let infiltrate your life that are distracting you from your purpose and from the qualities in life that you seek out. These are things like, computer games that add no value. These are things like distractions on YouTube clips that add no value. These are things like reading things that have no value. These are relationships that have no value. These are jobs that have no value. There are lots of things that will distract your life that don't add value. And sure, we want to have joy in our life, but it's all a balance. If you get trapped in those distractions, you may never move forward towards the things that you truly desire and that you truly seek and purpose to fulfill. Now I'm going to move on to money. Money can be very easily wasted. It's hard to create money. It's important to have money to do the things that we want to achieve in this modern world. Having money doesn't mean that you're effective. You need to be smart with investments. So managing your money in a way that helps you move towards your purpose. And one of the secrets I want to share with you that I've seen a common trait in some of the executives that I've coached and high wealth individuals is that when you have money, for it to be effective is to maintain your living standards. What a lot of people I've seen do is as they increase their wealth or they increase their earnings, they increase their standard of living. So the net effect is if you've increased your wealth and you've increased your standard of living, the net effect is 0. To be effective, understand what you need as an essential outcome in life and what is useful to you and purposeful, and then maintain that level. So as you earn more wealth, you will actually have a positive effect with the gap that's created from where you were to where you are with your financial situation. Then use that excessive amounts to reinvest. Reinvest in things that help propel you to your purpose quicker, that will free you financially. So many people live on credit. They buy things before they have the money to acquire them. And this means that you're paying extra for them in unnecessary interests and debts. So be smart. There is a good time to take a loan when it is purposeful and when it's for a strategic objective. But you want to knock off that loan as quick as possible, and you want to live within your means. And once you are creating wealth for yourself that's beyond your needs, then you want to smartly invest that to get you to the end game very quickly so that you can live a sustainable and free life that's not dependent on working. So then you can work with joy. So it's not that when you come to retirement you don't work anymore, it's working with joy and working on the things that are purely aligned to your purpose. So the next waste that can manifest in your personal life is a waste of intellect or a waste of your emotional energy. So your intellect is your biggest asset in your career particularly, but it is also the thing that will propel you in your personal life to achieve your outcomes and be aligned to your purpose. So manage your intellect. What sort of education are you giving yourself? Whether it's formal education or practical education, they're both important. But what are you picking to bring into your life? How much time are you investing in building your capability and intellect so that will move you into the direction of your purpose? Now, if you want to build your career, a course like this is very useful to you to build your competencies and your skills about how to be more effective. So bring things into your life that will add value and that will help build your intellect and capability to create a future for you of where you want to be. Now, your emotional intelligence is also a source of great waste. If you don't manage your emotional responses, it can consume you. So the emotions that come up in your body can be value adding, can be very non-value adding as well, and be an essential waste. So when you are getting emotions that are not propelling you towards your goal, take a moment, pause, identify them, and ask yourself, do I really need to respond to this emotion right now? Or is this emotion here distracting me from what I'm here to achieve? And then rise above your emotions and take action to move yourself in a position where you're in a better emotional state. At the end of the day, our emotions are nothing more than like the muscles in our hand. They will respond to what we ask them to do. So if the emotional response has been generated from the environment or other people, then take control of that, take responsibility of that, and manage your emotions so that you get the outcome and you move with purpose. Get the outcome you're looking for and you move with purpose. The next waste I'm going to talk about is in your travel. So how do you spend time traveling? And what I've seen a lot of wasted time when people transit to and from work, or they're traveling even on holidays, all of that slack time that's in between that transit is not being utilized. So how do you bring in smart things like audio books, YouTube clips that can add extra intellect and build knowledge and inspire you to move forward so that you can learn more out of life? How do you utilize that time? How do you pick a work environment and a working flexibility that allows you to minimize travel time, working from home? How do you pick an employer that's close enough? So pick wise employment choices, pick wise clients to work with, to make sure that you optimize your transport and your travel time and you minimize that loss, and use the time. If you must travel, use the time wisely and multitask, build things in there so you get value out of it. Now, the last waste I want to talk about is spiritual waste. So we have a finite amount of spiritual energy. What I personally believe is that we've come here for a purpose on this life. We've come here to achieve something. We've come here to learn something. We've come here to evolve our souls and our spirit. Now, if we spend our time not working towards purpose, we are essentially wasting this existence. We are wasting our spiritual energy away, and we're not putting it into the things that we desire and the reasons that we've come here to be here. So if you want to subscribe to that thought, that's fine. If you want to think about other belief systems, that's fine. But if you do want to subscribe to a purpose for being in this beautiful existence, then let's not waste our spiritual energy. Let's put it towards something that evolves ourselves and evolves the greater humanity and protects this beautiful planet. So this is value and waste. It's module number 1 out of 17 modules, and it's all about driving continuous improvement for yourself, for your employment and the services that you provide, and for the greater good. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to subscribe to this, we will be releasing the full video on our Learning Academy that is normally $89 each. We're going to release one of those every month. And for the Lean Champions program, it's generally $89. If you're a subscriber or you're a follower of ours on LinkedIn, send me a personal message or comment, and we will give you a coupon code that will allow you to experience this online learning for free, complimentary. So thanks for listening. Look forward to speaking to you in future modules.